Hey everyone, Mr. Happy here, and welcome to another World of Final Fantasy trophy guide. In this video, we'll be handling 4 trophies in one video. We're going to be taking a look at the 4 mini-game hidden trophies. Now, at one point in the main story, you'll be asked to do each of these mini-games as part of an intervention mission. While I believe you can earn the trophies in those intervention missions, I earn them all by going to the Twins room in Ninewood Hills and completing the mini-games there. It should be one of the options under your Mirage journal. Now, once you're there, again, you'll have a choice of 4 different mini-games, and each one has its own achievement. So we're going to start with Whack-a-Cactuar. Now, the name of this achievement is Zip Zip Whack, and all you have to do is score 5,000 points in the Cactuar minigame. Now, unlike the one that you did as part of the intervention mission, this one spawns several types of Cactuars, and you're just going to have to collect a total of 5,000 points in order to get the achievement. Disclaimer, I am super colorblind, so I actually can't tell the difference between a Cactrot and a Cactuar. Apparently, if you punch a Cactuar and kick a Cactrot, they are worth double the points. If you can tell the difference, God bless you, because I can't, so I just punched every time. So, working our way up to 5,000 points, here's what you need to know. Cactrots and Cactuars are worth 50 to 100 points. Gigantrots and Gigantuars are worth 500 to 1,000 points, and when the conductor appears, if you hit him, he is worth either 250 or 500 points, plus he adds 10 seconds to the clock. Now remember, you still can't miss more than 3 times here, so when you're going after the conductor, you need to be a little bit more careful. Rule of thumb, if he's not the first one you swing at in a wave of Cactuars, then don't try to swing at him as the second target. It'll be too slow because he disappears fairly fast. Basically, you're going to have to decide if you want to wait to identify if the conductor is present in the wave before swinging, or if you're just going to swing at the first thing that your mind tells you to swing at as soon as the wave spawns. If you do wait, it is worth that bunch of points plus the extra time, but if it's a wave of 4 enemies, you'll always have to skip the 4th enemy if you even hesitate for a second, potentially eliminating point gain on even non-conductor waves. Now, to make things a little bit more difficult to boot, as the clock runs down a little bit more, the waves will start disappearing faster. When the clock is under 30 seconds remaining, you don't ever want to try to punch more than 3 Cactuars in one wave. They'll start disappearing too fast to hit all 4 in a wave of 4. When the clock is under 15 seconds, you don't even want to try to punch more than 2. Even the 3rd one becomes unreachable most of the time. And finally, to boot, sometimes RNG just straight out prevents you from even possibly reaching 5,000 points. The spawns are completely random and do not repeat from attempt to attempt. Do it enough runs though, and you will get it eventually. Alright, so the next hidden trophy we're going to be taking a look at is the Fast and the Nebulous. This is gotten from doing the Nebulous Storm minigame in under 1 minute. The minigame functions exactly the same as it did during the intervention mission, so whatever strategy you work there should be sufficient. My strategy is every time one is about to spawn, which is every few steps, I stop for about half a second, watch the one that I need to actually hit, pick the right button, and then continue on. I do this the entire time, and I usually end with like 3 to 5 seconds remaining. After doing it a few times, I also noticed that each of the 3 enemies that can spawn have their own battle cry. So if you identify which one has which battle cry, you can identify them even faster and make your time even better. Even if you do make 1 or 2 mistakes, don't immediately give up. It is possible to still make it in time, but keep in mind that you're going to be much closer to that 1 minute limit in order to get the trophy. The next hidden trophy is also pretty easy. It is the Magitek Knight trophy. Now, the wording of this hidden trophy is pretty confusing because it says to slay any number of enemies with any Magitek armor, but I can guarantee you that this is gotten from the Sandstalker minigame. All you have to do is beat the Sandstalker minigame in that minigame menu a total of 10 times. You don't need to do any sort of special conditions within the match itself. You don't need to kill all of them with Terra. You can kill them with any of the 3 as long as you win 10 total minigames. So with that, use whatever strategy works best for you in order to beat it. Now, the strategy I'm actually using in the video is the same strategy I used in order to earn the Madouin memento in the intervention mission, but I'll explain that further in another video. Just keep in mind, for the Madouin memento, you do need to do that in the intervention mission, not here in the minigame menu. And the final one, and the one I personally struggled with the most, was the Einhander Invasion, which you need to do to get the Blitzball Ace Hidden trophy. So in order to get this trophy, you're going to need to earn 5,000 points in this minigame. The big difference here is that there is no time limit on the minigame, so you can earn it as fast or as slow as you need to ensure that you don't make the 3 misses. Remember, you only get 3 misses before it's considered a failure, just like the Cactuar minigame. My advice, since you have no time limit, is only go for the ones that fly in a straight line towards and away Tidus. Ignore the ones that have the fancy patterns or the ones that enter the screen flashing. Just don't even bother with those unless you're really confident you know how to hit them. Now keep in mind that the pattern of the Einhanders will be the same every single time you do this minigame as well, and that eventually the pattern repeats itself. Throughout one pattern, there are a total of 4 bonus Einhanders that are black, and those will be worth anywhere from 350 to 500 points. Also, if you combo by hitting more than one with a single ball, making them at full strength and they pass right through, you'll earn double the points. So if you have a fancy strategy for that as well, you can execute on it. I personally just hit them all when they were halfway across the screen, and that was worth 500 points every hit. The biggest thing to remember is that towards the end of a pattern, 2 of the Einhanders are going to dive directly at Tidus after doing sort of a Medusa head pattern from Castlevania. You're going to want to either make sure you have enough health to survive these hits and just continue doing the strategy where you only hit the ones that fly directly at you, or you're going to want to make sure that you know their patterns and that you can hit them before they hit you. Keep in mind that if you never miss a shot, you can eat both of the ones from the first wave and still have 1 miss remaining. That's a pretty risky strategy to go with. I personally just learned their patterns and I knocked them out of the sky. After the second one that dive bombs at you to try and take 1 health away, there's going to be 1 more flashing Einhander on the top right hand side of the screen, and then the spawns are going to start over. This is really just a minigame of dealing with the somewhat clunky controls as well as making sure to not get impatient. Deal with the Einhanders that dive at you. Go after the ones that fly only horizontally towards and away from you on the screen, and you should be more than okay with this minigame. And those are the 4 minigame trophies in World of Final Fantasy. Really frustrating, but once you get the hang of them, you can repeat the process over and over again. Sandstalker will probably be the most time-consuming one, unless you have a lot of trouble with the Einhander Invasion one. So let me know if this trophy guide helped you out, or if you have any advice for anyone else going after these trophies. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and share, and leave your comments in the comment section of the video below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next World of Final Fantasy trophy guide. Until then, take care.